Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So I want to tell you guys a real quick story. Earlier today, Hammer and I, the German Shepherd, were underneath the pavilion area working for a class we have tomorrow. And Samson, the Argentina Dogo puppy, was playing in this area. Well, I heard the chickens, these are pullets, make a little bit of like squawking noise. And I'm like, oh, we've been working really hard on not chasing the chickens. He must be irritating them through the fence. So I looked this direction and said, Samson, stop. Well, I could see, he's white, and I looked down and the Holy Spirit told me to look back up. And when I did, I realized that Samson was inside this chicken coop, okay? Two things I learned from the story. The first thing was my dog stopped when I asked him to from a distance. I walked the entire pen, could not figure out how he got inside the pen. We realized that we had a structure issue at the bottom down here from when we recently moved the pen. It broke the wire that had been closest to the ground that was tucked up underneath the metal. That area had rotted. So now, essentially, the fence was loose and I did not realize it. So the cool thing about the story was, as I walked around the pen very calmly, I told him to come, and he walked inside the pen with the pullets following me. He did not chase the pullets. He did not attack them. Now, if you don't know anything about an Argentina Dogo, they are a hunting breed of dog. At 13 and a half weeks old, he's weighing in at 35 pounds. So he's a pretty large puppy. He's a pretty large dog already. He could have easily killed every single one of those pullets with no trouble. He's also raw food fed. And one of the things that he eats is raw chicken from the farm. The point of this video is to tell you guys two things. Hindsight is 2020. If I would have waited to train Samson until there had been an accident or an incident or an emergency, I would have been training behind the accident. In other words, Samson would have been trained because of bad behavior. Instead, we got in front of any issues that would occur in the future, and we began training immediately when we got him at 10 weeks old. And you guys probably saw the video of us training him the other day in the chicken coop when I released the hens and the roosters into their run, which is also where he stays during the day when I don't have him tethered to me, or we're not working on training, or he's just not out for playtime. I keep him in a very large outside area where he is secure and safe, guys. Having a puppy does not mean that you should allow it to run wherever it wants to go, when it wants to go, not in your house, not in your yard. Training should be done before incidents and accidents occur. Otherwise, it's going to be hindsight is 2020. Had I not done some prior training with my puppy, he would have chased down, and even if it was unintentional, killed the 10 pullets that's in that pen. Do you know how much chickens are costing nowadays in my neck of the woods? That's $15 to $20 a chicken. So you're talking $150 to $200 in chicken that he would have killed, okay? Or injured to the point that I would have had to dispatch, because Stephen is not home right now and won't be for many hours. The second thing I realized was I had a security issue with my pen, and my puppy was a great indicator of that, and he notified me of that unintentionally. I told Stephen when he called on his way home, I said, I really feel like the angels probably lifted up the edge and encouraged the puppy in there. Like, I could just imagine my angels doing that. Like, hey, look, we need you to go in the pen so your mom knows there's a security issue here. Because we did not realize, we just moved the pen to a new clean section of grass, changed out, we butchered out all those roosters for the dog's food, and put in the pullets so that we could move chickens around the farm. So the point of this video is to tell you guys, get to training, whether it's an older dog or a younger dog. Get to training your dog. Do it now. It's never too late. There are no bad dogs, guys. If If you wait until there's an incident, say you have chickens and you have older dogs, and I hear people say this a lot. Well, my dogs won't quit chasing the chickens, so I just make sure the dogs aren't out when the chickens are. That's only going to work for so long. That's not solving the problem. Eventually, accidentally, someone's going to release your dogs or your chickens when the other one is out. Then you're going to have injured or dead chickens, and you're going to be mad at an animal, and it's not their fault. So training should start as soon as you get the dog, or as soon as you realize there's a problem. Hammer, come. Now, I do want to say this. Hammer. Good, come. Tell everybody hi. Good, come. Go play. I do want to say this. There are two types of dog. Handler focus, like Hammer, where he is always focused on me. He enjoys training. He enjoys working. And then there are dogs like the Argentina Dogo that are nature-focused dogs. And they are a little harder to train, and you really have to put the time and energy in. Guys, it's worth it. Had I not been putting in the training with the puppy, like I said, I would have had dead or injured chickens, and the only person Sam could have blamed was Sam. So I hope that this just gets you to thinking. I thank God. I really do. I really thank God that this happened. One, for confirmation that Samson is learning on target, and I'm so proud of him. And two, I had a security issue with my pen that I was unaware of, but God brought it to my attention in time for me to be able to fix it enough until Stephen gets home tonight. So you guys have a blessed day. May God prosper you. May the Holy Spirit download wisdom into you so that you can get your dogs trained. It doesn't matter how old they are. Put the time and energy into it. It is not right to beat on or get rid of a dog or even put it down because you didn't take the time to train it to do what you expect it to do. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you for rowing in our boat and letting us row in yours. All right, so here's Samson, very close to Mom. Here come the ladies. I'm gonna walk Samson right by. I'm gonna let him see, but not touch. Come. Come, Samson. Good, come. I'm gonna keep redirecting him. Out here where the chickens aren't yet, I'm gonna give him a little bit more leash. Guys, just remember, you don't wanna set your puppy up to fail. So please don't put them out in a pen or out in the yard when the chickens are out free ranging and you have no way to control your dog but to scream and holler at them, okay? That is not what you wanna do. A lot of people are always shocked when they see our German Shepherd literally sleeping in the chicken coop and never attempting to harm the chickens, yet this is what he eats. It's very simple. We put a lot of time and effort in training him to see the chickens, but not to chase the chickens. And that's something you need to do with your puppy. You can't expect the puppy not to want to chase the chicken. Most dogs want to chase the chicken, okay? Just like your kid wants to chase the dog, but that doesn't mean that's what your kid needs to be doing. The puppy wants to chase the chicken, but that is not what he needs to be doing. So if you notice, he sees them, but I'm not getting a lot of response out of him, which is a good thing. He has been right here. Ooh, leash is kind of stuck. He's been in this run now for a couple of weeks during the daytime when he's not out having training sessions or tether time with Mommy, and he's out here. So he's actually gotten quite used to seeing them. Come.